created the first Subway Series since the Dodgers faced the Yankees in 1956. The Big Apple was wildly excited with divided allegiances as Game 1 opened at Yankee Stadium.
Tonight, the Yankees try to make it 4 World Championships in 5 years. But this is the most electric atmosphere we'll ever have as Pettit gets ready to pitch to left-hand hitting Timo Perez. And the pitch is low, and we're underway in the first World Series of the new millennium and the first Subway Series in 44 years. Perez, a left-hand hitter, a line drive type hitter, broaches into third to guard against the bunt. The 1-0 is low, and the count 2-0.
John, every time he throws a pitch, the first 2 pitches, it looked like Christmas. It looked like the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting up. Everybody seems to have a camera with a flashbulb over top, and it's just like Christmas time when he throws the pitch.
That adds to the atmosphere. Here's the 2-0 to Perez, and it's low, 3-0. So maybe Pettit is affected by all the hoopla and all the drama and all the tension because he falls behind a little left-hand hitter, 3-0, a guy who can really run. Perez only had 49 at-bats in the regular season, and the 3-0 is a strike. Now, in those 49 at-bats, he had 286, a homer, 3 RBIs. During the playoffs, he's become a regular. He's become a star. He's 12 for 40, no homers and 3 RBIs, and he has a big-time future in baseball. The 3-1 strike fastball. He has taken 5 straight pitches in the count 3-2.
And the Yankees book report on Timo Perez that he's the anti-Ricky Henderson. He swings at everything, and that's why Pettit threw those 3 pitches out of the strike zone. But Timo Perez has taken every pitch he's seen so far.
Perez in the playoffs, 12 for 40. He has been an igniter for the Mets offense. Here's the payoff. Hit on the ground, weakly to second. Vizcaino fields and throws him out 1 away. So Pettit came back from 3-0 down. And Mike, I have heard Joe tell me that, you know, Pettit, why does he nibble? You know he can throw strikes because he's down 2-0 and 3-0. He throws strikes.
Well, that time he really was pitching to a scouting report, and when he had to throw strikes, as you said, he threw 3 strikes in a row. So Timo Perez knew exactly what the Yankee scouting report was, and the Mets told him, don't swing because they're going to throw everything out of the strike zone. So he built the 3-0 count, but Pettit was able to throw 3 in a row.
1 away, and here's one of the best players in the business, Edgardo Alfonzo, who fouls it first base side, upper deck out of play. During the regular season, Alfonzo, a second baseman with power, hit .324, 25 homers and 94 RBIs, and he's had tremendous playoff. He's 13 for 36, a homer, 9 RBIs. Now, Alfonzo hits a curveball foul down the right field line out of play, and the count 0-2. And, Mike, a big part of the Yankees' success in the playoffs would be if they keep Perez and Alfonzo off base in front of Piazza.
Absolutely. You want to face Piazza without anybody on base. And that was the game plan against Alex Rodriguez and Edgar Martinez. And really, that's the game plan with a lot of 3-4 hitters. But Piazza's so dangerous, you really want him to come up with the bases empty.
Well, Pettit is ahead 0-2. And he deals. Just missed outside as he tried to paint the outside corner. And the count 1-2. Only 2 lefty hitters in the lineup against Andy. The leadoff hitter, Timo Perez, and Robin Ventura, the third baseman, who bats 5th. That'll be a 1-2 to Alfonzo. The pitch, high fastball, overthrew the 4-seamer, and the count 2-2. Pettit throws the cutter inside, a cut fastball like a slider inside to right-hand hitters, and a 2-seam fastball, a sinking fastball away. He also throws a curveball, slow curveball, and the last pitch, a 4-seam fastball up. Here's the 2-2, fouled away. That was a fastball that he fouled back into the seat, so the count holds at 2-2.
You know, the interesting thing, John, is that the Mets are a veteran-laden club, but hardly anybody on this team has any World Series experience. This team was brought together to get to this point, and they have, and now it's going to be interesting to see how they react. A guy like Alfonzo, he's been around a while. He hasn't been here. Same thing with Zeal, same thing with Piazza. We'll see how they react to the pressure and being under the microscope.
Now, again, the 2-2, fouled away, upper deck, first base side. Well, Mike, I think once the game begins and you're into the second or third inning, I think it's a baseball game, and I think the players will play it that way. If there is pressure felt it certainly has to be felt by people who are new to it, and the Mets are new to it. And how can you have more? Well, look how the crowd is reacting. Nothing has happened. We're in the top of the first inning, and this crowd is as alive and electric as any crowd. The 2-2 hit on the ground, foul off third. Well, the count holds 2-2. Pettit, if he has a problem tonight, it's because he hasn't pitched in a while. He last pitched in Seattle, and that was on the Friday game. And this is Saturday, so he hasn't pitched in 8 days.
And sometimes that affects him adversely. Some pitchers like rest at this time of the year, but if he's too strong, he loses command, and his pitches are up. He wants to get his pitches down and away, and the cutter low and inside. He doesn't want to be too strong.
Again, the 2-2. Swung on and line to right. O'Neill toward the gap, makes the catch, and they're 2-way. And Alfonso hit it right on the button. Here's one of the great hitters in the game, Mike Piazza.
And the Yankee Stadium crowd showering him with boos. And boy, it's going to be interesting tomorrow, right at this point, when Roger Clemens stares down at Mike Piazza for the first time since hitting him in the head. And that's going to be more than a sidebar in tomorrow's game. That might be the main story.
The pitch is inside, and the count 1-0. During the year, Piazza hit .324, 38 homers, 113 RBIs. In the playoffs, he's 10 for 31 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. A right-hand hitter with phenomenal power, great balance as a hitter, and great power, especially to right center field. A guy who you have to, the 1-0 is a bouncer in the count 2-0. Guy you have to pitch differently almost every time back. There isn't one way to get Mike Piazza out. He probably is. You hate to overstate these things, but he probably, Mike, he's the best hitting catcher in baseball history. There have been catchers who've hit for high average. There have been catchers who've hit for power, but there's been no catcher in baseball history to hit both for average and power. He's just simply a great, great hitter.
And in 14 games against the Yankees, 14 RBIs and 4 home runs.
The 2-0 fouled away, late on an inside fastball. He fouled at first base side upper deck, and the count 2-1.
You know, everybody tries to knock a great player. Barry Bonds gets knocked because he doesn't have great numbers in the postseason. And coming into this one, Mike Piazza didn't either, but he's finally starting to hit in the postseason. In the NLCS, he was 7 for 17, that's .412, and overall in the postseason, .323. So he's done the job this year.
The 2-1 way outside. And of course, one thing about Piazza, he hurts you when he gets hits because he gets big hits. He gets booming doubles and home runs. The outfield plays him straight away. He hits the ball where it's pitched. He can hit it out to any part of the ballpark. Pettit behind 3-1, a damage pitch, and it's swung on, hit in the air to deep right. O'Neill back near the track. He makes the catch on the edge of the track, and Pettit has a 1-2-3. At the end of a half inning in Game 1 of the World Series, the Mets nothing, the Yankees coming about.
If history has taught us anything, it's not to root against the underdog.
The British are coming!
It pays to know what's coming.
Check the group chat!
Every great leap began with a bold first step. And there's no shortage of second chances. Against impossible odds, you don't stand down. You swing.
So the Yankees with 25 world championships in the 20th century, while they try to start up the 21st in proper form, and Chuck Knobloch digs in against Al Leiter.
To the bottom of the first, and Leiter deals low outside. They're terrific. Bottom of the first, 1 out, no one on, scoreless at the stadium. Leiter deals. Jeter takes a fast strike. That's a fastball right across. In 31 games and starts, Leiter, they're terrific. Bottom of the first, 1 out, no one on, scoreless at the stadium. Leiter deals. Jeter takes a fast strike. That's a fastball right across. In 31 games and starts, Leiter used to be 3-2 with everyone. And his ball moves so much, so less was more with Leiter. He blows plenty hard. Two-way here is Yankee hero David Justice. He takes a strike. Justice had big hits against Seattle and was the MVP of the ALCS. A left-hand hitter. Yanks have 3 lefty hitters. They bat 3, 5, and 7. Justice, Chino Martinez, and Paul O'Neill. It'll be an 0-1. There has not been a base runner in the game, and Leiter deals. That fastball missed inside. The count 1-1.
You know, one thing that people are saying is an advantage for the Mets is that they have Leiter and Hampton, 2 great lefties, and the Yankee left-handed batters will have some trouble against them. Well, what it does is it neutralizes their power, but they do hit better average-wise against lefties than they do against righties.
And that'll be a 1-1. Pitch low outside. You know why? Because they really put the ball in play.
Right, they'll take it to left.
Yeah, they really will. They play just hit to left center. The center fielder Payton is about 10 steps over in left center. Agbayani straight away and deep in left, and Timo Perez straight away and deep in right. Alfonso, the second baseman, on the outfield grass. The 2-1 swung on, hit high in the air to shallow left. Agbayani coming in. He's there near the line and makes the catch, and that'll do it. At the end of 1 inning of play in game 1, no score.
Todd Zeile started the Mets' second inning with a single. Pettit then struck out Robin Ventura. Hawaiian-born left fielder Benny Agbayani came to the plate with 1 on and 1 out to face the Yankees southpaw.
Benny Agbayani made a statement on the Howard Stern radio show and also Regis Philbin's show that the Mets would win in 5. It was on the front page of the New York Post. And the Yankees, who are not a bulletin board team, had the front page of the Post hung up in their dugout before the game. So it's still there right now. We'll win it in 5. And spoke to a couple of Mets yesterday, John. They weren't pleased that Agbayani said that.
Pettit deals, and the pitch is strike. Tino, though, had a pretty good line. He said, look, everybody asks you for your predictions, so when you give one, it's going to be hoisted up. You know, I'm not a big bulletin board guy because, Mike, does it mean the Yankees need that to win? I mean, you know they want to win. They want to win because they want to win. There's a team of winners. But I guess it doesn't hurt. Agbayani, a strong right-hand hitter. The 0-1, a breaking ball is grounded weakly to third and foul. And so the count will be 0-2.
You know, sometimes you could back it up. I guess Joe Namath's guarantee didn't really tick off the Baltimore Colts that much because they lost.
Yeah. I think it's overdone. I mean, you mean the Mets wouldn't play hard to win or the Yankees wouldn't play hard to win? So, and this isn't just 1 game. This is 7 games.
And, you know, the Yankees usually don't do things like that either, John. But in '98, on the same radio show, David Wells boasted that the Yankees would either sweep or win in 5 against the Padres, and he turned out to be right.
They swept. Zeile leads. Pettit deals. Swung on and fouled away, and Zeile was headed back to first base. Agbayani fouled that ball late down the right field line, so it's better for Zeile really not to take a big lead. Agbayani hit .289 with 15 homers and 60 RBIs. Didn't play every day. He's got great power. And during the playoffs, 11 for 32, a homer, 4 RBIs. It'll be an 0-2 to Benny. 1 on, 1 out, no score, top the second pitch. Strike 3 is called. Beautiful pitch under the hands on the inside corner.
You know, that had a little bit too much of a loop to it, John, I think, to be a cutter. I think that was just a breaking ball that he threw right in on the hands, and he froze Agbayani. Just froze him. And Agbayani knew it, turned around, walked back to the third base dugout. Great pitch by Pettit.
Mike, I agree. I think Agbayani's looking hard, and I think he floated a curve over, and he was frozen by the change of the speed. Now 2-8, and here is rookie center fielder, right-hand hitter Jay Payton, who had a heck of a season. He's had a lot of hype as being a big-time player, but he's been injured all the time. Well, this year, throw to first base, Zeile just gets back. This year, he stayed away from the injuries and became a big-time player. He had .291, 17 homers, 62 RBIs. He has power and speed. In the playoffs, he is only 6'4", 36, a homer, 5 RBIs. Zeile leads with 2 outs, and the pitch to Payton, a breaking ball is hit in the air to center. Bernie back, away back in deep right center. He makes a one-hand running catch. Bernie, as graceful as a swan, went back, reached up, and plucked it out of the sky. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. At the end of an inning and a half, no score.
Welcome to the Subway Series.
In the Yankees half of the second, Bernie Williams grounded out. Tino Martinez singled, but he was then forced at second on Jorge Posada's grounder. The Yankees' number 7 hitter Paul O'Neill was up next. O'Neill was not giving in to the Mets' Al Leiter with a runner at first in the scoreless game.
It'll be a 2-2 to O'Neill with 2 outs. The pitch low and away in the count 3-2 as Leiter is overthrowing. And the count full 3-2. That helps Posada. And he gets a head start. He runs like a catcher. Now they play the right fielder Timo Perez in right center. He is lined up about with the old Yankee bullpen, which separates the bleachers from the grandstands. There's a lot of room between Timo and the right field line. The Yankee string began, ironically enough, down 2-0 in '96 to the Braves. Well, they won 4 straight against the Braves in '96. They won all 4 against San Diego in '98 and all 4 against Atlanta last year. It'll be a 3-2. The pitch swung on and line toward right center. It is a base hit, but it's cut off beautifully by Payton. Posada goes to third. He'll have to stop there. Good job by Jay Payton. O'Neill hit one on the button. Again, if that ball got in the gap and went to the wall, it's an easy run. So first and third, 2 out for Scott Brocious. And Mike, I mentioned to you, I think it was game 3 in Seattle. O'Neill got a hard base hit and had a hot shot to Olerud, who gloved it, but the ball could have been in the hole. And from that point on, he has been swinging the bat much better.
And he had 2 very big hits in game 6. Remember, when the Yankees cut it to 4-3, it should have been a 2-run single up the middle. Posada did not run the bases well. That was by O'Neill. And then right after Justice hit the home run, O'Neill picked up a big 2-run single. How big was that? If he doesn't get that 2-run single and everything else plays out the same way, the Yankees don't win that game. So that was a gigantic hit. And now he starts out the World Series with a hard line drive single to right center. Now here's a guy who needs a big hit, Scott Brocious.
Right-hand hitting Brocious. Leiter deals high fastball. Brocious had an awful year offensively. The power wasn't bad. 16 homers, 64 RBIs as Pratt goes out to talk to Leiter. But Scotty hit only .230, and he's a much better hitter than that. During the postseason, he hasn't hit much better. Actually, he's hit worse. He's 7 for 35. No homers and an RBI. And the 7 for 35, those are just numbers because during the regular season, you don't even look at those numbers until the guys had 80, 90 at-bats. But Brocious chases pitches and is always behind. Well, here he's ahead 1-0. He has power. The pitch is high, and the count 2-0.
Now, this is the difference between the American League and the National League. In this situation, in the National League ballpark, Leiter might pitch around Brocious. Even though he's not a great hitter, he probably wouldn't pitch to the pitcher.
Yeah.
But now he's got a guy who's 10 for 19 lifetime against him, Jose Vizcaíno, on deck. He's got to go after Brocious.
Especially in games of this magnitude where you face a big-time pitcher. It'll be a 2-0 to Brocious. Strike. Good fastball on the inside corner. That crackled. And the count 2-1. In other words, in the National League, unless it's a game in July when you know you're going to score runs off the other pitcher, he walked Brocious, or you don't give him a good ball to swing at, and then you go after the pitcher, and you should get him out. Well, here in the American League, there is no pitcher. There's a DH. So the next hitter is Jose Vizcaíno, and he's hit Leiter very well in the past. It'll be a 2-1 to Brocious. Posada off third. O'Neill off first. The pitch is pop foul back. And the count 2-2.
Boy, he hit that foul tip off the mask of Pratt so hard that it landed on top of the screen without even slowing down. I don't know how Pratt's not shaken up by that. That's got to feel how he must feel like Andrew Golota felt like yesterday. But he's not leaving the game.
No, that one ended kind of quickly, as I recall.
Wow.
It'll be a 2-2 to Brocious. Runners lead first and third on 2 outs on 2 base hits. Now Leiter is set, and the 2-2. It's nubbed up the first baseline. Picked up by Zeal. He tags Brocious, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. At the end of 2, no score.
We have been here always.
Pettit hit Mets catcher Todd Pratt with a pitch to start the third. Pratt advanced to second on Mike Bordick's sacrifice bunt, bringing up Timo Perez with a runner in scoring position and 1 out.
Well, here is the smallish left-hand hitter, Timo Perez, who is just a call-up. And he played, got a couple of hits, and they played him some more, and now he's a full-time player. Derek Bell, the regular right fielder, got hurt. Pettit deals breaking balls inside. Bell got hurt in the first game against the Giants in the division series in San Francisco. And kind of in a classic Wally Pipp story, They can't get Timo out of the lineup.
And they can't get Derek Bell up from Tampa to watch the games.
It'll, the 1-0 swung on and popped up in the infield to Brocious at third. He makes the catch two-way. But now Pettit has to go through a very tough out with a tougher out to follow. Pratt off at second, 2 out. Pitch, strike. Well, you know, Derek Bell is a free agent, and I would say he has no chance to go back with the Mets. He's got a big financial ticket, and he didn't have a great year, so maybe he knows that. If I was Derek Bell, I would be here.
Well, any chance he had. I mean, his excuse supposedly is he doesn't want to retwist the ankle. He's on crutches.
It'll be an 0-1 to Alfonso. Pratt at second, 2 out. The pitch, breaking ball, hit on the ground. Jeter catches in the hole. The long throw in time. Oh, what a throw by Jeter. Jeter didn't waste a moment, backhanding in the hole, turned and fired a strike. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. At the end of 2.5, no score.
In the third, Leiter struck out Jose Vizcaíno and then walked Chuck Knobloch. Derek Jeter came to the plate with 1 on and 1 out.
Now, Knobloch is a threat to go, and the Yankees might try to do that to build a run. Leiter deals. Jeter cuts and misses strike 1 on a high fastball. Now, that pitch was probably ball 1. Jeter struck out his first time. And that'll be an 0-1 to Derek. They play him to pull as well. The difference here, Mike, is that Perez properly plays in right field because Derek, with that inside-out swing, goes to right field a lot. Peyton is in left center, so there's a big hole in right center field. They pick off Knobloch. Zeal throws to second in time to get Knobloch, and he is caught stealing. 1-3-6.
And Zeal and Leiter point at each other like a point guard that just gave out an assist. It wasn't a great throw by Leiter, but Zeal stepped forward to get an angle, then fired a strike to Bordick, and they got Knobloch sliding in.
So Knobloch was going and got picked. But because he went toward second, it's a caught stealing instead of a pickoff. He's out. That's the important thing. They're a two-way, and it'll be an 0-1 coming to Jeter. And the pitch is low and away, and the count 1-1. The joint is jumping, and more than that, it's electric. There's a hum and a buzz. I mean, really, nothing has happened yet. It'll be a 1-1. And the fastball is high and tight, and the count 2-1. It'll be a 2-1 to Jeter. And it's fouled on the ground behind the plate. The count 2-2.
I am simply amazed, John, that it's actually hot. And it's hot here. It's October 21st, and it's hot.
Yeah, I mean, if you wish for something on that score, you would wish that every single night for this series is just like this. It's so great you can wear any kind of clothes you want and be very comfortable. Yeah, they got a break. They really got a break with the weather. Hopefully it keeps up.
I mean, Leiter doesn't even have the long sleeve undershirt on, which you always see during the World Series. He's pitching like it's a July night.
It'll be a 2-2, 2 outs, no one on. The pitch. Curveball is grounded to deep third. One-handed by Ventura. He throws in time. Just beat Jeter. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. And now at the end of 3 innings of play, no score. Here we go to the fourth. Scoreless. Both pitches have been terrific. 0-1-0 Mets, 0-2-0 Yanks. It'll be the middle of the order. Piazza, Zeal, and Ventura. Zeal has the hit. Piazza flied out to deep right and swings. It's a ground ball towards short and through to center field. A base hit. Bernie Williams cuts it off in left center and fires in. So Piazza bounces a single to the glove side of Jeter and just away from his dive. And a good start for the Mets with a leadoff Piazza single. As he so often does during Yankee games and playoff games especially, here is the mayor of New York, a very happy guy named Rudy Giuliani. The ballpark, the city, is putting on its best clothes for this.
World Series fever. Subway Series fever. It's unbelievable. It's just great. I came up on a subway train.
Yeah, you were Dash and Dan. You were strap hanger, huh?
I was there on a subway train that had pinstripes all over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, were regular people on it? Or really?
Well, regular people like Governor Pataki and me. And
There's a strike to Todd Zeal on the inside corner.
about 10 cameras, but there were some regular people, a couple of Met fans, mostly Yankee fans. I tried to cause a little trouble.
Zeal lined a single to center his first time. Piazza, obviously no threat to steal, and you don't get a leadoff. Pettit has a great pickoff move. It'll be an 0-1 to Zeal, and Pettit deals outside, and the count 1-1. Now, Mike and I were out. You were on by phone on our show from ESPN
Right.
Zone.
I was up in Chappaqua.
And we were out in a few different places, and the city was going bananas last night.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine a seventh game?
It would be great.
What would happen next Saturday night, getting ready for a 7th game?
Well, I'll tell you what, the whole week would be great for New York. Pickoff, they picked off Zeal. Chino runs Piazza back towards second. Jeter runs him the other way and tags him out. So Piazza is caught stealing 1-3-6 the way Knobloch was caught stealing 1-3-6.
What are the odds of that happening?
He just lulls you to sleep. I mean, Piazza's not going anywhere. At most, maybe they were running. But I think he was just leaning. I don't think he was going anywhere. And you could almost hear him from up here just watching the
Oh, my
replay
God,
going,
right.
oh no. He got picked off.
So, yeah, Piazza's not going to steal the base. They might have played hit and run, but I doubt it. It'd be a 1-1 to
I
Zeal.
think he was leaning. I think he just got caught leaning.
Pitch is nubbed foul down the third baseline. The count 1-2.
I told you I watched before.
Now picked up by Brocious. Throws to first in time.
The
as
ball-
the ball came back fair, and Zeal didn't run it out. I picked my head up because the ball was foul, but it twisted fair, and Zeal didn't run, and so Pettit has gotten 2 somewhat fortunate outs in this inning.
Well, let's see if we can explain this, because there's a dirt patch, there's a foul line, and then the grass. And what it did was it was on the foul side of the dirt, but it was rolling slowly, and Brocious let it roll. It kind of kissed the grass on foul territory and then rolled right to the foul line. Zeal was watching it, and you know what happened? Brocious picked it up and gunned him out. Very heads-up play by Brocious.
Mike, I put my head down. I'm glad that you kept your head up. I was about ready to call a foul ball. The pitch is cut on and foul back by Ventura, and the count 0-1.
This is a pretty weird inning so far.
It certainly has been. Anyway, it was the same. We were out, and the city was buzzing. It's good.
Unbelievable.
This World Series is going to do great things for New York.
I watched the highlights of the 56 World Series last night after I talked to you.
And it'll be
Get ready for this.
an 0-1 to Ventura. Breaking balls inside, and the count 1-1. That's when Yogi hit the 2 2-run home runs off Newcomb in the last game, and Johnny Cooks pitched a shutout.
And Skowron hit a grand slammer. It was a blowout.
44 years ago. It'll be a 1-1 to Ventura. 2 outs, no one on. Top of the fourth, no score pitch. Cut on a miss. He threw a fastball by him. Ventura struck out on a breaking ball his first time.
You know, those 2 outs in this inning, those are embarrassing outs for the Mets. Piazza getting picked off, and then Zeal not running, and the Yankees being heads up enough to let the ball kick back fair. You wonder if those will have residual effect.
Well, the crowd now standing on the 1-2. High fastball, 2-2.
In 56, Eisenhower threw out the first ball, and Stevenson appeared the next day. Takes it back away, huh?
Yeah, just a few weeks before the election. It'll be a 2-2
to 56, huh?
to Robin Ventura. Pitch. It's nubbed down the third baseline. Pettit fields, turns, fires, got him. And the end of the inning. Mr. Mayor, I wish you great
inning.
weather like this for the whole series.
Same here, and you're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great time for the city. Just enjoy it.
Thank you, sir. No runs, 1 hit, no one left. At the end of 3.5, 0-0. Mark Messier is here. Mike Wallace is here. Our buddy Billy Crystal's here. But Billy Crystal's here against the Twins in June. Well, here's Justice. Leiter deals inside, and the count 1-0. The 1-0 way outside, the count 2-0. Justice hit a fly ball to left his first time. The crowd is making tremendous noise, so if anything really happens, you will really hear it. It's an electric buzz in the crowd. Here's the 2-0 to Justice. Outside 3-0. As Leiter overthrowing a bit. So he's behind David 3-0. Bernie Williams on deck. Both teams have 2 hits. And this is the way you figure Leiter and Pettit would pitch, and they're both pitching very well. The 3-0 is a breaking ball strike, and the count 3-1. He threw a high breaking ball. I think it's probably even better for Leiter and Pettit because they hadn't pitched in so long. So the fact they got through the first 3 innings unscathed, they might be very tough the rest of the way. Here's the 3-1 to Justice. Swung on and hit in the air to deep right. It is high. It is far. It is a foul ball as it just twisted foul down the line. Actually, Justice didn't hit it on the sweet part. When it left the bat, if it was fair, it would be a home run. But it really wasn't hit very well, and the ball twisted, hooked foul, and went foul just on the foul side of the pole, missed by a few feet. So the count 3-2. Justice leading off the bottom of the 4th. Here's the payoff. Swung on and launched to deep right. That ball is high. Perez back on the track, makes the catch. I think Justice again didn't get the ball in the sweet part. He hit that ball fairly well, and the ball sailed, but Perez caught it, I guess, about the edge of the track, and there's one away. So 1 away, and here's Bernie. And Leiter deals strike on the inside. The count 0-1. The Justice gave the crowd a thrill. Or a couple of thrills. Bernie Williams grounded to short his first time in the 0-1 strike. Another cutter on the inside corner. The last 2 pitches by Leiter have been perfect pitches. Fast, moved, and ended up right in on the hand. So the count 0-2.
Bernie just doesn't have success against Leiter. I wonder if he ever considers going up there left-handed.
The 0-2, low outside. Mike, I think Leiter then would throw breaking balls. Right. He's never seen breaking balls as a left-hand hitter going away from him. He'd have a very tough time.
He probably hates, though, having that ball come in on the hands. All hitters hate being jammed, and that's obviously what Leiter does to Bernie Williams. That's why Williams doesn't hit him. Leiter has to make a mistake with a cutter for Williams to get a hit. If it's right in on the hands, it'll be a ground ball.
And that's why it's so important for Al Leiter to throw a change away or two-seamer away. It has to be low, because Bernie Williams is looking in and in. The 1-2 swung on and grounded foul outside of third. And the 1-2 swung on and missed. Struck him out swing on a good cutter in. And there are 2-A. Leiter picks up his 3rd strikeout. So 2 down, and here is Tino. Tino banged a single to right his first time. And the pitch, breaking ball strike. Edgardo Alfonso begins with a pitch on the outfield grass. Tino doesn't have very good speed, so it gives Alfonso even more range to cut off a ground ball. That'll be an 0-1. And that pitch just missed inside. The count 1-1.
You know what's happened, John? Now it's turned into a baseball game. And you could feel that the tension is over. Now we're watching a really good baseball game.
It'll be a 1-1. It's a breaking ball grounded foul outside of first 1-2. I think all the nervousness and the tension for the players is gone. Now they're playing a baseball game.
You know what the neatest thing is, John? You look out toward left field on the out-of-town scoreboards, and there are no out-of-town scores. So that's what every team plays for, to look up there and know they're the only game in town.
It'll be a 1-2 to Tino, so you won't be doing a scoreboard tonight.
No.
Now Leiter deals. Caught on a missed. High fastball struck him out swinging. Leiter has 4 strikeouts and a 1-2-3. And now at the end of 4 innings of play, no score. Well, we go to the top of the 5th inning, and the drama now builds in a scoreless game. First game of the World Series. And here with the play-by-play is Michael Kay.
Thank you, John. Benny Agbayani starts it off, and the pitch is swung on and rocketed past a lunging Ambrosius down the left field line. Playing it in the corner is Justice, hustling into second with a double is Benny Agbayani, ahead of the tag by Jose Vizcaíno. So a proper start to the 5th inning for the Mets. A hot shot right down the third base line.
Now, Ambrosius normally makes that play, it would be a terrific play, but he's a terrific player. It was a one-hopper, and it just got by his glove. He had the glove there, and the ball kind of whistled by it, and once it went by into the corner, an easy double. Let's see how the Mets play it. Again, one run, pretty important right now. Do they have Peyton bunt? Possible. You have two pretty good hitters up in Pratt and Bordick. So you get a run at a third. You have to bring the infield in. So let's see how the Mets play it.
Peyton is flied out to center. That was in the second. Creeping in on the grass is Brocious. And the pitch to Peyton. He's swinging, and the pitch is low. 1-0. A check swing by Peyton, who steps out, looks down at third base coach Cookie Rojas. Looking at a replay, John, Brocious should have made that play, and I think Brocious thinks he should have made that play. You can see the look on his face.
Well, you know he normally makes that play. It was whistled on one hop. He got his glove there, but obviously he got his glove there a fraction too late.
Peyton is 6 for 37 in the postseason. Led all National League rookies with 146 hits. He had 39 multi-hit games. He's had a lot of surgeries on his right elbow and his shoulder, and been a long time coming. He was a can't-miss prospect who looked like he was going to miss. But here he is, the 1-0. Fastball high, 2-0. Pettit works from the stretch, staring into Posada for the sign. There's no score, top of the fifth inning. Game 1 of the year 2000 World Series. And the 2-0 is Nubb first base side, but it kicks foul. Fielded in foul territory by Martinez. And the count now 2-1.
Well, that ball stays fair. Why, that's better than a bunt. Give him a chance to get a base hit. That certainly sends Agbayani to third.
Benny Agbayani is getting a very big lead at second base. He's dancing up the base as well. And Jeter's trying to hold him close. Now Brocious is backed up. He's convinced there is no bunt. And the 2-1. Swung on and nubbed in front of the plate. Picked up there by Posada. And he tags Peyton, who's out. And Agbayani stays put at second. The Mets have not exactly been running the bases well. Piazza got picked off. Zeal didn't run out of the box. Neither did Peyton. And it's cost them. It really has. And Agbayani stays put at second base.
Well, that ball didn't roll 2 feet in front of home plate. It did roll a little bit toward the first base line. It was a fair ball. And Posada was helped because Peyton didn't run. He would have made the play anyway. And Agbayani had to hold it second. So that is almost a duplicate, almost, of the ball that Bernie hit, which turned into a double play when the Yankees had bases loaded, no one out in the Seattle series.
Here's Todd Pratt. He was hit by a pitch in the third inning. Agbayani leads off second with 1 out now on the pitch. Swung on and grounded foul right in front of the Met dugout, third base side, 0-1.
You know, Mike, you talked about Jeter trying to hold Agbayani close to second. That was not working out very well for the Yankees. He was playing behind him, leaving the shortstop hole almost uncovered. He tried to get back there when the pitch would come, but Peyton didn't hit the ball, luckily for the Yanks.
No score, top of the fifth. Agbayani is on second with 1 out. First game of the best-of-7 World Series, Subway Series, Yankees in the ends of the Mets. The 0-1 to Pratt is grounded off the foot of Pratt all the way to Brocious deep at third, and Pratt goes down to his backside. Now he is up and limping around home plate. So the count 0-2.
And you're seeing what happens with that cutter, and he has a dandy. That ball going down and in.
Pratt is doing deep knee bends as he tries to shake off the pain in his left foot. This is Pratt's second World Series. Now, his first World Series was as a backup catcher with the Phillies in '93. But Darren Dalton was the everyday catcher, and Pratt did not see 1 inning of action against the Blue Jays. That's a series the Blue Jays won. So this is his first appearance in the big World Series show. The 0-2. Strike 3 right down the middle. Pratt down looking. 2 away.
Well, Pettit picks up his third strikeout. I guess, Mike, Pratt is looking in because of the cutter, and he took a pitch. It might have been mid-out, but, I mean, basically it was more mid than anything else. So Pratt, for whatever reason, just simply took the pitch. Or maybe he thought it was going to be a cutter and didn't cut.
Here's Mike Bordick. Bordick's the type of guy that can get you a big hit. He has not had a good postseason. He laid down a sac bunt in the third. He was 1 for 13 in the NLCS, 3 for 25 overall in the postseason. That's 120. And the pitch is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Mets picked him up near the trade deadline from the Orioles, essentially for Melvin Mora. Ray Ordonez, a much better defensive shortstop, but Bordick is steady. Many people believe that Bordick will end up back with the Orioles. He's a free agent at the end of the year, and Ordonez will be healthy next year, and he's got 3 years left on his deal. And also the Mets will go after A-Rod. The 0-1 to Bordick is punch foul. First base side behind the plate, and the count quickly 0-2 as Pettit getting tough with a runner on second. Crowd getting into it, standing up. No score, top of the fifth. Agbayani led off with a double. Now he's at second with 2 outs. Bordick, a right-handed batter, deep in the box, open stance. Now the 0-2. Check swing on a cutter. Did he go? Yes, he went. Strike 3. Bordick is down swinging. And Pettit does a great job after the leadoff double. No runs a hit. 1 man left at the end of 4.5. We're halfway through. No score.
Striking out 4.
Well, Timo Perez will start off the 6th inning, and what a ride it's been for him. He started the season in A-ball and has jumped all the way to the leadoff batter in the World Series. Not too bad. He's 0 for 2 tonight, grounded to second and popped to third. And then the pitch. He runs the hands up the bunt, takes a breaking ball away. 1-0, trying to drag.
And Mike, in a scoreless ball game, he becomes a very important batter. Not just the leadoff batter in the 6th inning, 0-0, but the leadoff batter in front of Alfonso and Piazza, easily the Mets' 2 best hitters.
And the 1-0, he was running up again. The pitch was outside, 2-0. That time he looked like he was running up to try to slap the ball. So the count 2-0. He scored 8 runs in the NLCS, so the Cardinals couldn't do anything with him. He was 7 for 23 in the National League Championship Series. That's 304. And the 2-0. There's a pitch right down the middle, 2-1. So Perez has actually changed his modus operandi tonight. He usually cuts and slashes at everything, but he's taking a lot of pitches. Lefty batter, wide open stance. The 2-1 is grounded up the middle, and that is going to be through to center field for a base hit. So the leadoff runner is on. He makes a big turn at first. Bernie Williams flips the ball into Vizcaíno, and Perez sets the table for the Mets, and Alfonso comes to the plate. He likes to run, but Pettit can neutralize you, especially if you've never seen him before. You can look at all the tape you want, but unless you're standing on first base, you really don't get a good sense of his move. Perez, who's listed at about 5'8", looks a little bit shorter than that. He takes a big lead off first. Alfonso's 0 for 2. And the pitch by Pettit is grounded foul behind the plate all the way to the backstop, 0-1.
Well, you would think that Perez could do some running, but when you think of it, Mike, why would you run unless, the pitcher out there has no pickoff move or has a high leg kick when you have Alfonso and Piazza? And you've got to give them a chance to line a double in the gap. That'll score Perez.
No score, top of the 6th inning. Nail-biting time in game 1. Throw to first, and Perez scoots back. John and I were around the city last night, and during the World Series, they give the players new caps, and on the caps, the left side of the cap is the World Series logo. And John, it seemed like everybody in the city was wearing their designated team's World Series cap. It's about $25 a pop. So somebody's making money. The 0-1 is not made as Pettit throws to first and Perez back.
Mike, I'll tell you one thing is amazing. You go around the city. I live in Jersey, and you see so many Yankee caps. It is amazing. We have been receiving, because of the triplets, a lot of very loving gifts from friends and such.
Again, a throw to first. Not a good move by Pettit there. That was almost a snap throw. That was not his good move.
And a big basket of fruit and little stuffed bears came today, and a fellow was wearing a Met shirt. And he said to me, he said, "John, the rain is over." I said, okay.
Kind of blew his tip, didn't he? No score, top of the 6th. Mets with 4 hits, Yankees with 2 against Leiter. Perez leads off first. The 0-1 to Alfonso is a cutter inside. The count levels at 1-1.
But anyway, the merchandising business is doing very, very well.
Each pitch means so much. Alfonso had a great NLCS, 8 for 18. And the pitch is up and in, 2-1.
And remember, Piazza's on deck. This game has been played so closely that the Mets began this inning, the 6th inning, with their leadoff man, and the Yankees will begin the bottom of the 6th with the 9th hitter. So Pettit and Leiter are matching serves. But Pettit is in need of a big pitch. He's 2-1 to Alfonso.
Throw to first, and Perez is back. Perez is not taking a big lead against Pettit, so obviously Mookie Wilson has said, listen, let these guys hit. Don't get picked off. Let Alfonso and Piazza come up with a chance to drive in a run. So I think that's what they're doing, because he's got a very short lead right now. I'd say a lead of about 4 feet at most. And the 2-1. Swung on and popped up right side. Backing up Tino Martinez. Vizcaíno's there, and he makes the play behind Tino right in front of the grass for the first out of the inning. So a nice battle there by Pettit against Alfonso, and now another battle in the person of Piazza coming to the plate.
Well, certainly not to denigrate the other hitters, because Zeal and Ventura and Agbayani are all good hitters, but boy, these are the two, Alfonso and Piazza, who both hit for power and also both hit, let's say, in the 330s. So this is a very big moment in the game when you have a guy like Piazza.
Piazza's 1 for 2 tonight in the NLCS. He was 7 for 17. That was .412. 2 homers and 4 ribbies. Time is called. The place is absolutely jammed. And the throw to first. Perez has almost assumed the role that Melvin Mora had last year. And you wonder, does he have staying power? Will he be here next year? But the Met outfield that started tonight, boy, was that not the outfield they thought that they were going to have coming into the season. I mean, Ricky was their left fielder at the beginning of the season. The pitch to Piazza is fouled straight back 0-1. It was Ricky, supposed to be Darrell Hamilton in center. Now he's on the bench. He's back from his toe injury. And Derek Bell in right. Well, look who started today. Agbayani, Payton, and Timo Perez.
And until Ricky, kind of forced himself to be dealt, you figure Agbayani might have been sent down the minor leagues, but he certainly became the left fielder. And Timo, late in the year, became the right fielder, and Payton earned the job. He's been a terrific player all year long, and Hamilton was injured most of the year.
And the 0-1. Fastball up and away. 1-1. And it's strange, before Bell got hurt, Agbayani did a lot of the leading off, and he's not your prototypical leadoff man. Boy, the Mets could have really used Ricky, a real Ricky, all season, but they did a good job. 94 and 68, that's not too bad. Finishing second in the NL East to the Braves and getting the wild card by a good margin. 1-1. Swung on a miss. Breaking ball, diving down and in. The count 1-2. Piazza's the DH tonight, and what that does for Bobby Valentine is it gives him a better catcher. Piazza's a great hitter. He's not a great catcher. Now, Todd Pratt's not a great catcher, but he's better than Piazza. And the throw to first is not in time as Perez back standing. He has the smallest lead you could possibly imagine. Now, if Piazza makes an out, then I think you might see Perez try to go. No score, top of the 6th inning. Yankees against the Mets. The Subway Series has finally happened. First one since 1956. And the 1-2. Swung on and drilled deep to right center field, giving chase Bernie Williams. He's there, and he makes the play on the run for the second out of the inning. Perez goes halfway and heads back to first. I guess that was off the end of the bat, because I really thought that had a chance to rock it out, but Bernie had some time to run underneath it and run it down.
Well, Piazza did not hit it in the sweet spot. He hit it where his power is, to right center field, but Bernie ran it down pretty easily. And Mike, I thought the same thing. Maybe if there are 2 outs, Chimo would run, but I don't know if he's able to get a lead on Pettit, and if he takes too big a lead, he's going to get picked off.
Here's Todd Zeile, who historically has hit Pettit well. A sharp single left in the second, then he grounded to third. That was in the fourth. And the pitch is a breaking ball strike, inside corner, 0-1. The ground ball to third was somewhat strange. It was a slow roller in foul territory. Zeile didn't run. Now Brocious knew he wasn't running, and then the ball hit the lip of the grass in foul territory and kicked back fair. So when Brocious picked it up, he gunned down and embarrassed Zeile. Now Brocious is very deep at third and close to the line, trying to cut down on the extra base hit. Mets have made 3 separate bad base running maneuvers. One by Zeile. Piazza was picked off, and then Jay Payton didn't run on a slow roller in front of the plate with Agbayani at second. Throw to first, and Perez is back. 2 outs now with Perez on first. No score, top of the 6th inning. Zeile was a free agent from the Rangers and signed with the Mets to play first base. And the 0-1. Swung on a missed high fastball, chased that pitch, and the count 0-2. Zeile, his whole career changed because of Joe Torre. Zeile was a catcher with the Cardinals, and Torre moved him to third. Now Torre sits in the Yankee dugout as the crowd here at Yankee Stadium rises to its feet. Pettit stares in under the bill of his cap, which is curved. And the 0-2. Swung on and drilled deep to left field, giving Chase his Justice. Looking up, and it's off the top of the wall. Kicks back to the field. Fielded by Justice. He fires into Jeter. Perez is coming home. Here's the throw. He is out at the plate. Oh, what a relay throw by Derek Jeter. A double off the top of the wall by Todd Zeile, and the carom played beautifully by Justice. Fired the ball into Jeter, and Jeter a one-hop throw to Posada, and he tags out Perez, sliding in, and the game remains scoreless. Oh, what a play. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 left. At the end of 5.5, no score.
Late season acquisition Jose Vizcaíno led off the bottom of the 6th with a single. It was forced at second on Chuck Knobloch's poorly executed bunt. Derek Jeter then drew a walk to put runners on first and second with 1 out for David Justice, whose series clinching home run in the 2000 ALCS against the Mariners had already made him a Yankees hero.
Breaking ball strike, 0-1.
Last time up, Justice had not 1 but 2 good swings. He had a foul home run down the right field line and then sent Perez back to the warning track, and he had 2 great swings. So Leiter decided to change, and he threw him a breaking ball, and that had Justice frozen, that first pitch breaking ball.
And the 0-1. Way inside. Justice jackknifes out of the way of a fastball. The count 1-1. No score, bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees threatening. Knobloch's at second, and Jeter is at first. Both runners looking at third base coach Willie Randolph. Lee Mazzilli just had a word in the ear of Derek Jeter. Runners lead. Bordick trying to check back Knobloch. The 1-1. Swung on and drilled to left center field. Giving chases Payton on the run. He cannot get there. It goes to the wall. Scoring is Knobloch. Here comes Jeter. He'll score. Standing on second with a 2-run double. David Justice. The Yankees lead 2-0. The first runs of the 2000 Subway Series go to the Yankees.
Michael, when the ball was hit, it was way over the head of Payton. Payton, as we told you, plays too shallow, and he got burned. I don't think he had a chance anyway, because the ball was hit so deep in left center field, but he didn't have any chance. The pitch may have been a cutter, and it stayed over the plate. It was down, and Justice drove it in the gap. Justice is to left center a lot. He takes left-handers to left center. So a 2-run double. Knobloch and Jeter could run. They knew the ball was in. They scored easily, and now the way Joe manages this game takes a big turn. Now it's 2 runs as late as the 6th, and Nelson, Stanton, and Mariano will be on call. Pettit really only has to pitch another good inning, and they will be on call.
While Bobby Valentine had to jump a couple of steps out of the dugout to hold up 4 fingers, they will intentionally walk Bernie Williams, and they'll take their chance with Tino Martinez. So first base is open, and there's ball 1. Warming up for the Mets, I believe, is Turk Wendell, right-hander. There's ball 2. It gets away from Leiter. The return throw by Pratt, but Leiter scrambles after it. There's ball 3. It is the right-hander Turk Wendell. So Tino Martinez, there's ball 4, first and second, who's had a great postseason. Now comes up with runners on first and second. Tonight, Tino's 1 for 2. And in the postseason, he is 17 for 46.
At first, Bernie on the intentional walk, and another big hit for David Justice. He gets big damage hits.
Martinez singled to right center field and struck out. Good speed on the bases for the Yanks, and the pitch. Strike right down the middle with a fastball, 0-1.
One thing, Mike, and we have seen this all year long, Justice really hangs in against left-handers. And he's had a lot of good swings against Leiter tonight.
Seems to have a flair for the dramatic as well. The 0-1 swung on and fouled straight back. Just missed the pitch. That was his pitch to drive. It's 0-2. Hey, just remember, in '95 against the Indians, Justice ripped into the Braves fans. It was all over the newspapers, and he was booed at the start of Game 6. And he got the only run in the game with a home run. And Glavine won the game 1-0 as the Braves won their only World Series after all those trips to the postseason. So he came up big then, came up big in the ALCS. The 0-2 is outside 1-2.
The intentional walk by Leiter was his third. One walk went to Knobloch, but he promptly picked him off. And that was back in the 3rd inning. But in this inning, the walk to Jeter set up the 2 runs.
And the 1-2 fouled away, upper deck on the third base side, still 1-2. So the Yankees lead 2-0. And the Mets have made several blunders on the base paths. It's just amazing. Because they're pretty fundamentally sound team, and they've made 4 base running mistakes. And the 1-2. High fastball up and away, 2-2. Tomorrow, the fun continues with Roger Clemens against Mike Hampton. But still a long way to go here in Game 1. And the 2-2. Check swing, slow roller toward first base. Fielded by Zeal. He will tag Tino on the way by. Justice moves to third. Bernie moves to second. And now there are 2 outs, and that brings up Posada. Let's see if they walk him to have Leiter face the lefty O'Neill.
Posada, they'll crouch behind the plate and try to make good pitches against Jorge.
Big moment in the game. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Yankees up 2-0, looking for more. And the pitch swung on and drilled to center field. Payton is right there, and he puts it away in dead center for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees get the lead. At the end of 6 full, Yankees 2, Mets nothing.
The Mets started to get to Pettit in the 7th. After Ventura had popped out, Benny Agbayani and Jay Payton put a pair of singles together. Pettit walked Todd Pratt, and then shortstop Mike Bordick was called back. Pinch hitter Bubba Trammell strode out to face Pettit with bases loaded, trailing 2-0 with 1 out.
Trammell 0 for 3 so far in the postseason. Right-handed batter against the lefty Pettit. Bases loaded with Mets. Yankees lead 2-0. The pitch. A cutter inside and low. 1-0. So Pettit, who was cruising coming into this inning and got Ventura to pop to second to lead off the inning, then served up the single through the right side to Benny Agbayani. A single up the middle of Payton, and then he walked Pratt, and now he's in a jam. Works from the stretch, the 1-0. Check swing on a cutter. Did he go? Did he go? They checked with the first base umpire. Said, yes, he did. Charlie Relaford brings him up, and that is big. Really turns around the count. 2-0 is so much better for Trammell than 1-1. And I have seen a lot worse called check swings. He did not look like he went around. They got Trammell from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. And the deal that sent Jason Tyner to the Devil Rays. Now Pettit steps off. Pettit could elect to go from the full windup, but obviously he's feeling fairly comfortable working out of the stretch. With the bases loaded, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to get a great jump, so you might as well go from the full wind. A lot of starters elect to do that, but Pettit is eschewing that option. And the 1-1 to Trammell. Swung on line drive, base hit to left field. That should tie it up. Agbayani scores. Here comes Payton. He'll score. And the game is tied at 2. A 2-run pinch hit single for Bubba Trammell. And the Mets have tied the game at 2.
Well, Trammell got a 1-1 pitch, and he hit it hard. That was a bullet single to left. So the Mets get off the deck down 2, and with 1 out and no one on, singles by Agbayani and Payton, a walk to Pratt that really set it up, and then a bullet single to left by the pinch-hitting Trammell. Now here's Timo Perez, and as he comes up and Pettit stays in, I think this is Pettit's last batter. Jorge Posada kind of motions, especially to Brocious, watch out for the bunt. Well, that is by far the biggest hit in Bubba Trammell's career. First time in postseason.
And he clapped his hand as he rounded first. And why not? The pitch to Perez is bunted up the first baseline. Fielded by Pettit barehanded. He fires to Martinez. They get Perez as the runners move up. Pratt to third and Bubba Trammell to second.
So bunt he did. You know, that's a bunt for a base hit, and if he doesn't get a base hit, it's a great sacrifice. I wonder if they'll call it a sacrifice. They might. And now you have Alfonso. Now the Yankees have a decision. Do you bring in Jeff Nelson? Here comes Joe, and that's the decision. They're going to bring in Jeff Nelson to pitch to Alfonso, and if he loses him, then to Mike Piazza.
And the official scorer's decision is no sacrifice, which is a good call.
Well, Jeff Nelson figures to see a lot of action in the 7-game series. His specialty is getting right-hand hitters out. And he has 3 right-hand hitters in a row. The best the Mets have to offer, Alfonso, Piazza, and Zeal. Because if the Yankees get to Zeal, they're going to be behind in this game. The game is tied at 2. You have to pitch to Alfonso with Piazza on deck. Now, if you miss and walk him, well, then you go to after Piazza. Alfonso 0 for 2 against Nelly, and Piazza 0 for 1. The game is tied at 2 with runners at second and third and 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning. The only thing, Mike, that might help Nelson is the unfamiliarity of that nasty slider, because Alfonso has had just 2 at-bats and Piazza 1.
He's 0 for 3 tonight, and the pitch is swung on a miss. There's the slider diving down and away, and Alfonso was pulling off, so the count 0-1. Well, the game is tied, and the Mets have the go-ahead runs on base. Todd Pratt at third. Then Bubba Trammell, who got a huge pinch hit 2-run single, he's at second. Top of the 7th inning, 2 outs. Nelson works from the stretch. Pratt dances down the line. The 0-1 is a slider outside. The count levels at 1-1. Now, Ed Montague, from my recollection, John, has not umpired a Yankee game this year, and he's unfamiliar also with the slider by Nelson. And sometimes you could deke out an umpire as well. Nelson steps off. Pratt is trying to get Nelson to balk. He keeps stutter stepping down the line a la Jackie Robinson, but he's not exactly a speedster, and Nelson shouldn't worry about him. And the 1-1. Slider away, backhanded there by Posada. The count 2-1. 2-8-0 for the Mets, 2-4-0 for the Yankees, as this crowd has certainly quieted with these 2 runs that came in. Nelson deals the 2-1 to Alfonso. Is a slider strike on the outside corner. Just whispered across the black, and the count is level at 2-2 as this sellout crowd gets to its feet. Pratt off third, Trammell off second. The 2-2 swung on and nubbed down the third baseline. It's going to be tough. Barehanded by Brocious. Fires to first. Not in time. Pratt scores, and the Mets take a 3-2 lead as Trammell moves to third. A slow roll to third base. Brocious did the best he could. Barehanded, fired to first, but Alfonso beat the throw.
Well, you can't blame Nelson. He made a good pitch, and Fonzie topped it, and it rolled slowly to third, but it rolled just too slowly, and although Brocious made a very good play, Fonzie beat it out easily. Well, not easily, but he was plainly safe. So the go-ahead run comes in from third, and that is Pratt. On to third goes Trammell, and the Yankees still aren't out of the woods because here is Piazza. So the Mets rally for 3 and take a 3-2 lead.
Piazza's 1 for 3 tonight. Nelson sets and deals to Piazza. It's a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Usually, he will throw his fastball in, but that time he went away with it. So the Mets lead the Yankees 3-2 with 3 runs in the 7th inning. They come off the deck, and that is their modus operandi. Nelson fakes to third and fakes to first. Game 1 of the World Series, and it's been a good one. And the 0-1. Swung on and missed on the slider, and the count 0-2. Trammell also darting off third, trying to distract Nelson. And Alfonso leads off first, held there by Martinez. Alfonso's slow roller, the 9th base hit for the Mets. And the 0-2 swung on and blooped to short center field. Coming on Bernie Williams. On the run, he makes the play for the final out of the inning. But not before the Mets get 3 runs on 4 hits, and they leave 2. At the end of 6.5, get up and stretch. Mets 3, the Yankees 2.
Was replaced in left by Joe McEwing. Franco gave up a leadoff single to Jeter. Justice followed with a fly ball to center field. Bernie Williams then stepped in against the once premier closer and trailing by 1 run.
Bernie Williams 0 for 2. He's walked. It was an intentional walk. 1 on, 1 out. A throw to first. Jeter is back. It is 3-2 Mets, and we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 on and 1 out. Now Franco set, and again he throws to first, and Jeter scampers back. And if you're wondering the history, Bernie Williams has had 1 at-bat against Johnny. Bernie stepped out. He's back in again. Payton plays Bernie to pull. He's in left center. McEwing is deep in left. And Franco deals strike on the inside corner. And the count 0-1. A cutter under the hands. A very good pitch. Well, now you can start to cut the old tension with a knife, huh? 1 on, 1 out, and a 1-run game, the way it's supposed to be. 3-2 Mets, bottom of the 8th. Jeter with about a 4-step lead, and now Franco steps off, so Jeter walks on back. Franco just staring in. Now he's ready, and he throws to first again, and Jeter is back. Those pickoffs are only meant to keep Jeter near first base. He's not trying to pick him off. I mean, he'd love it if it happened, but he has not shown his good move. He just wants to keep Jeter going back. Now the stretch. It'll be an 0-1. And the pitch is hit in the air softly down the right field line. Toward the line is Perez. He makes the catch, and they're 2-way.
And that leaves it up to Tino.
Now the stretch by Franco. And again he throws over and Jeter's back. Martinez has had one at bat against Franco. He had one hit. Not much history there. Now the left-handed deals low outside fastball, and the count 1-0. A switch hitters on deck, Jorge Posada. There's no one warming up in the Mets bullpen, so until further notice, the 8th inning is Franco's. As he did against Justice, Payton, the center fielder, plays Chino to hit toward left center. It'll be a 1-0. Fast strike on the outside part of the plate. The count 1-1.
Tino looking down at Willie. Maybe they put something on, open up a hole in the infield. Derek Jeter staring across at Randolph as well.
Franco staying away from the left-hand hitters and a throw to first. And that's a smart thing, because if you come in and miss, then the left-hand hitter can pull the ball to the short part of the ballpark and hit it out. Now, if you pitch him away, you might get a base hit, but it'll be in left center field. Jeter with the lead. And again, a throw to first base.
Those are all called from the bench. And obviously, they want to keep Jeter close. They do not want him getting a running start on anything into the gaps. And we don't want him running at all.
That'll be a 1-1 to Tino. Again, a throw over.
And the way they call it from the bench is Pratt looks over. So does Zeal. Pratt signals to Franco because Franco's back is to the Mets bench. And it's a signal for a throw over to first. It's not a signal for a pitch. And that's why Zeal knows when to dart back to first base. It's not a guessing game. It's called.
That'll be a 1-1, and Franco deals, swung on and hit in the air to center field. Payton back, away back. He's there in center field. Makes the catch, end of inning. No runs, one hit, and one left. And now at the end of 8 innings of play, it's 3-2 Mets.
Trailing by a run in the top of the 9th, the Yankees brought in Mariano Rivera. Rivera got Payton to fly out, but then Pratt was again hit by a pitch. Kurt Abbott was next up, with the Mets leading 3-2.
Here's Kurt Abbott, who as a part-timer hit .217 with 6 home runs, got some pop. A right-hand hitter. Yankees have faced him before in the American League. Rivera deals strike in the count 0-1. Pratt was ready to swing at that. As he came around with the bat, the ball was bearing out on him, and he held the bat up, and the ball went past the bat and banged him right on the back elbow. It'll be at 0-1. And Rivera deals, swung on and line to right. O'Neill going back near the wall, leaps, and it's off the wall, bounding back toward the infield. O'Neill fields and fires in. They hold Pratt at third. So Abbott lines a drive over O'Neill's head and off the wall. And Pratt, who doesn't run well, can only get to third. And the Yankees got fortunate again. First of all, the ball could have been out. And secondly, if Pratt was running, well, he would have scored easily.
Well, O'Neill turned the wrong way. First he turned and his body was facing the foul line. Then he had a turn and his body faced center field. And all those twists and turns didn't get him back in time. So he did not go back on the ball very well. It was hit very hard. It's a legitimate double, but one that O'Neill would catch, I'd say 7 out of 10 times. That was one of the 3 times he didn't catch it.
Well, the infield is in. Obviously, the Yankees, to have a much better chance, have to cut off the run at third. Pratt is at third. Abbott's at second. And the infield is all the way up. Well, here's Timo Perez. Now, the Mets with Timo could run a squeeze, whether safety or suicide. Rivera is set, and he steps off. Brosius started to go back to third to try to hold Pratt on the bag. You can, if you think you're going to squeeze, you can pitch out and try to get that runner. Even if it's safety, he might take a lead to get ready to come home. And then you pitch out, and Brocious goes to third base immediately. So Pratt off third, and the pitch swinging. He takes high 1-0.
The chance you take on a suicide squeeze like this is that Rivera is hard to bunt. But Timo Perez is a bunter. So this is a guy who knows how to bunt.
And his bunt tonight for a base hit moved the runners to second and third so the run could score on Alfonso's dribbler. Second and third, 1 out of the ninth. Here's the 1-0 strike. And the count 1-1. I think if I was going to put the bunt on, I would put it on now.
And now the Yankees might think like that and pitch out.
Then you could put it on again.
And they could pitch out again.
It'll be a 1-1 to Timo. And the pitch swinging, and he pops a foul out of play. That takes care of the bunt.
Although in the earlier in the playoff, he bunted with two strikes. He is that good of a bunter.
Someone bunted against the Yankees with 2 strikes too, and it was successful. McLemore. It'll be a 1-2. Runners lead second and third, 1 out. Rivera is set at the belt, and the pitch. He fouled it back to the screen on a high fastball, and the count 1-2.
Timo Perez is hoping the Mets hold on because they bailed out him. He made a terrible base running maneuver on Todd Zeal's double off the wall in left field. If he's running hard from first base, crack of the bat, he scores easily. But he thought it was a home run and slowed down.
Now Rivera set. It'll be a 1-2. Is fouled away. I think it's got the home plate umpire, Ed Montague. The reason you don't bunt, too, you bunt it foul, Perez is out, and he's a pretty good hitter. He's a lefty hitter. And with the infield up, boy, if you hit a ball that's not at the infielder, it's a base hit. It's automatic, and you get 2 runs in, and then you're home free with Benitez firing his bullets in the bullpen.
Boy, these runs here, what they do, as John said, is they take an immense amount of pressure off Benitez. The Mets are a little concerned about Benitez in these games. They don't know how he's going to respond. He has not pitched that much in the postseason, but when he did, he gave up a big home run.
It'll be a 1-2. The pitch is chopped to second. They hold the runner, and the throw to first is just in time. Vizcaino juggled it, but just got Perez as the runner was held at third. If Pratt knew that Vizcaino was going to bobble it or that Mariano would miss it, he would have come home, but he didn't. It was a high chopper, went over Rivera's head, and it went off Vizcaino's stomach, I guess. But he got Perez. Now 2 outs, and here comes Alfonso.
Alfonso's 2 for 5 against him.
Runners back at second and third, infield deep, and the pitch strike on the inside. The count 0-1.
Alfonso's biggest fan on the Yankees happens to be Derek Jeter. Jeter says Alfonso is one of the best players in baseball, calls him grossly underrated, and he says he does everything well, and he watches his career very closely from across town.
3-2 Mets top of the ninth, second and third, 2 out. It'll be an 0-1 to Fonzie. The pitch, and the count 1-1. Alfonso has fly to right, grounded to short. Jeter made a heck of a play in the hole. So his fly to right, grounded to short. Jeter made a heck of a play in the hole. Popped up, and then he had an infield dribbling single with 2 outs against Nelson in the 7th. The first batter that Jeff faced, and that brought in the go-ahead run. The Mets have that lead, 3-2. We're now in the 9th.
Alfonso
his fly to right, grounded to short. Jeter made a heck of a play in the hole. Popped up, and then he had an infield dribbling single with 2 outs against Nelson in the 7th. The first batter that Jeff faced, and that brought in the go-ahead run. The Mets have that lead, 3-2. We're now in the 9th.
Alfonso has 6 hits.
So his fly to right, grounded to short. Jeter made a heck of a play in the hole. Popped up, and then he had an infield dribbling single with 2 outs against Nelson in the 7th. The first batter that Jeff faced, and that brought in the go-ahead run. The Mets have that lead, 3-2. We're now in the 9th.
Alfonso has 6 hits in his last 8 at-bats with runners in scoring position.
He's a terrific hitter. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, pop foul. First base side out.
Low roller, John, in the 7th inning. Gives him a 10-game hitting streak in the postseason.
Benitez standing and watching in the Mets bullpen. He's ready. And he will pitch the bottom of the ninth against Posada, O'Neill, and Brocious, the first three scheduled. Rivera trying to get out of a ninth inning jam caused when Pratt was hit by a pitch and Abbott doubled over Paul O'Neill's head. The 1-2 is a half swing. Did he go? No. Yes, he did. They checked the first base umpire, Charlie Relaford, who waited till he was asked, and they said Alfonso swung. So Fonzie, on a check swing, strikes out, swinging. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And now at the end of 8.5, it's 3-2 Mets.
Ahead by a run, the Mets brought their closer Armando Benitez into the game. Benitez totaled 41 saves during the 2000 season. He induced Jorge Posada to fly out, bringing to the plate the heart and soul of the Yankees, Paul O'Neill.
O'Neill's 1 for 3. The pitch is low.
On deck is Brocious. In the hole with a bat is Canseco. So Canseco would face Benitez, pinch hitting for Vizcaíno if someone gets on.
I just saw Louis Polonia get a helmet. It'll be a 1-0. Caught on it. Missed in the count, 1-1.
Well, O'Neill gets on. Polonia runs.
One more thing. If the Yankees lose this game, they would have lost the first game of every series this year. To Oakland, to Seattle, now to the Mets. It'll be a 1-1 to O'Neill. And the pitch strike at the knees, and the count 1-2, fastball. They would have lost the first game of every series this year. To Oakland, to Seattle, now to the Mets. It'll be a 1-1 to O'Neill. And the pitch strike at the knees, and the count 1-2, fastball. They would have lost the first game of every series this year. To Oakland, to Seattle, now to the Mets. It'll be a 1-1 to O'Neill. And the pitch strike at the knees, and the count 1-2, fastball. They would have lost the first game of every series this year. To Oakland, to Seattle, now to the Mets. It'll be a 1-1 to O'Neill. And the pitch strike at the knees, and the count 1-2, fastball. You know, there's an old line about throwing fastballs. If you got the juice, and Benitez has the juice, you can't hang a fastball. You either throw it or you can't. But maybe that's why he is not throwing his slider, and that's why he probably is not throwing the splitter. It'll be a 1-2. Swung on and fouled down the left field line. I think that was a splitter.
Well, all the scoring came within a half inning of each other. 2 runs for the Yankees in the 6th, and the Yankees watched as the Mets came back with 3 in the 7th. And that's where we stand. 3-2, bottom of the 9th inning, game 1 of the World Series.
Benitez staring in for a sign. 1 out, no one on, bottom of the 9th. It's a 1-2 to O'Neill. A high pop off third. Ventura to the seats, and he leans in but can't make the catch. Ventura got a little banged up against the field box railing. Alfonso trots back to second, and we're about set to go. 1 out, no one on. 3-2 Mets, bottom of the 9th. O'Neill. Brocious on deck. Now the stretch and the 1-2 way outside, the count 2-2. You know, if you want to miss 1 and 2, you really want it to be just off the plate to make the hitter guess and maybe swing on him. That ball was low and away, so O'Neill didn't have to think about it. And the count 2-2. As Mike said, Canseco has a bat in the Yankee dugout. Now the 2-2 high fastball, 3-2. Benitez simply overthrew. You can't blame him. He wants to put as much as he can on it. Now the count 3-2 on O'Neill.
What do? Do you throw the fastball? Do you throw the splitter? What a tough call. You throw the splitter. O'Neill guesses right. He's on first base with a walk.
Yeah, I would say you throw the fastball. O'Neill, as you mentioned, is not turning on it. It'll be a 3-2. Swung on and fouled down the left field line. Out of play, deep down the left field line. Payton plays over in left center, very deep. They're trying to cut off extra base hits. And McEwing in left plays O'Neill. Really toward the left field line. They figure O'Neill is certainly not going to pull Benitez. Only way he pulls him is if Benitez throws something off speed, slider or splitter, and hangs it. I don't think he's going to do that. Again, the 3-2. Swung on and pop foul, third base side, and out of play. So the count holds 3-2. One thing about Benitez, 3-2, he's throwing strikes. It could be that if O'Neill would draw a walk, that Polonia would run for him. And then you might take Brocious back and take two cracks at it with Canseco and Hill. But first of all, O'Neill has to draw that walk.
And the other school of thought would be let him hit the double.
The 3-2, outside ball 4.
And what I meant by that, John, was Brocious can hit a double to tie up the game, so they don't need the home run. And now they do call him back. He was headed to home plate, you're right, and the bat boy had to go get him. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to send up Polonia to pinch hit for Brocious. Now, do you find it somewhat curious not pinch running for O'Neill?
Well, the only one who could run for him
Bellinger
would be Bellinger. Yeah.
Can O'Neill score on a ball in the gap? Don't know. I don't think so. Unless it's a slow one in the gap, which is going to be tough since they're deep in the outfield.
Well, here's Louis. And Benitez deals low. Want to know one more thing? Joe likes Louis for another reason, because he's a small target up there. So Benitez, if he's a little wild, might walk him. And then you got two cracks at a single time again.
And I think you hit it on the nose, though. He loves the fastball.
The 1-0 swung on in line. There's a base hit right field. O'Neill holds at second. Well, the Yanks have two cracks at it. So Polonia is a good hitter. We've mentioned this before. Polonia, he can hit. There's a guy who I really would think about carrying next year. So Polonia, who could hit the fastball, went down and got a low fastball. And now there's 2 on and 1 out. And here is Vizcaíno. And now you don't use Canseco or Hill. Now you go with Jose and Knobloch, and you hope you get a single to tie the game.
And Vizcaíno has been up one time against Benitez and worked a walk. So Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with Benitez. Now, here's what the Yankees wanted to do. And here's the scouting report, John, on Benitez. Get him nervous. Make him think about the enormity of the situation. Make it a tough save. Don't let him go 1, 2, 3. Make him work out of the stretch, because when he works out of the stretch, he doesn't throw as hard. And the Yankees have exactly what they need. They got him in a situation where the tying run is at second base, and he certainly does have to think about it. And now he's going to face a guy who will put the bat on the ball. And that's what he does well. Again, O'Neill is not being pinch run for at second base, which would lead me to believe that Joe thinks he's extremely healthy and will be able to score on a single. Now, the Mets shorten up in the outfield against Vizcaíno, so a single is no guarantee to tie the game.
Vizcaíno turns around and bat from the left side. O'Neill, the tying run. Polonia, the winning run. The pitch, strike, and the count 0-1. Mike, they play the left fielder, and that's Joe McEwing in for Agbayani. Almost on the left field line. That's about as close as you play in Yankee Stadium with a big outfield. It'll be an 0-1 low. I think that's a splitter in the count 1-1.
Well, the first one, John, he actually took something off it. It was a BP fastball just to get the strike, because he knew that he was probably taking till he got a strike, 86 miles an hour.
It'll be a 1-1. 3-2 Mets. Bottom of the ninth. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch is high, and the count 2-1. Vizcaíno will take pitches, and this next pitch is going to be a very important pitch in this game. A strike, Benitez is okay. A ball, and he's behind 3-1. And now the crowd is going bananas. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the ninth. And the 2-1 swung on and line. There's a base hit to left field. O'Neill can't score. The throw comes in. There's a line drive on one hop to McEwing playing shallow. And I don't care who is running at second base. No one would score on that base hit. So the Yankees are going station to station. This guy, got a pitch he could handle and lined it the opposite way. And as usual, Joe Torre makes the right moves. And it just was a line drive on one hop. No one could have scored on that. The Yankees have the bases loaded, 1 out. Now a fly ball will tie the game.
And how do you like Knobloch's chances, John, of working a walk against Benitez? Knobloch can foul off pitches. He can take pitches. He has a small strike zone. And you know now Benitez's heart is really pounding. Can he throw 3 strikes to Knobloch before he throws 4 balls?
And he can't throw the splitter, at least not a nasty one. The pitch. Strike. Threw a breaking ball in the count 0-1. Knobloch has flied out, walked, grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out. The outfield is playing shallow for a play at the plate. Got a speedy guy at second in Polonia. O'Neill the tying run. Polonia the winning run. Bases loaded, 1 out in the ninth. It'll be an 0-1. Low outside, the count 1-1. The right fielder Perez is reasonably deep, but the left fielder McEwing is shallow, and Payton is a tad deeper. He plays left center. A long fly ball to left obviously ties the game, but that might go over McEwing's head.
And Payton does not have a good arm in center.
It'll be a 1-1. Bases loaded, 1 out, and the pitch swung on and hit in the air to deep left. Back goes McEwing. He's there. He makes the catch. Tagging is O'Neill. He will score the tying run. Chuck Knobloch got the bat on the ball and hit a long fly to left, scoring O'Neill. It's a sac fly, a ribby, and the Yankees tie the game at 3.
And this was the Mets' worst nightmare, is having Benitez come in and blow a save. Because now what do you have out of Benitez the rest of the series? And now it's up to Derek Jeter. Luis Polonia has great speed at second. Any base hit will win the game for the Yankees. Chuck Knobloch comes up big, puts the ball in play, scores O'Neill easily, and it's a new ball game.
Jeter 1 for 3 with a walk. The pitch, strike, fastball, and the count 0-1.
No one warming in the Yankee bullpen. If there's a 10th inning, it will be Rivera.
Polonia at second base. He's the winning run. It'll be an 0-1 to Derek. The pitch inside, called a strike, and the count 0-2.
Derek didn't like that call. That really put him in a hole. That looked low and inside.
Now the count 0-2. Polonia, who's so speedy, scores on a base hit to the outfield because with 2 outs you run. You can't get doubled up, obviously. So it'll be an 0-2. And Benitez deals outside. Just missed in the count 1-2. That pitch was as near to the plate as the pitch that was called a strike.
Well, Leiter and Pettit are off the hooks, and the 2 closers, those are the guys that are the pitcher of records right now.
The stretch by Benitez. The 1-2. He struck him out swinging a breaking ball down and away. So the Yankees scramble for a run. They get 1 run on 2 hits, 2 left at the end of 9 innings of play. The Mets 3, the Yankees 3. Mariano comes out for his second inning. Luis Sojo goes to third. Polonia pinch hit for Brocious and got a big hit. 3 10-0 Mets, 3 8-0 Yanks. Rivera on the hill, Piazza at the plate, and Michael Kay at the mic.
Thanks, John. Piazza's 1 for 4 today. He's single in the 4th. Rivera from the stretch deals. Fastball up and in, 1-0. Piazza 38 home runs in the regular season, 2 home runs in the postseason. The Mets are warming up Dennis Cook to pitch the bottom of the 10th inning. This is the 51st extra inning game in World Series history. And the 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1. The last one was game 3, where the Yankees beat the Braves on Chad Curtis's home run.
Indeed. Not much history here. Piazza is 0 for 1 against Mo.
Rivera sets. And the 1-1 to Piazza. Swung on a miss. That looked like a cutter from Rivera, diving down and away. Almost had slider action. And the count 1-2. Usually Rivera's cutter cuts on the same plane, but that one went down and away. Piazza, the number 3 hitter for the Mets. And the 1-2. Fastball high, a 96-mile-an-hour heater, and the count levels at 2-2. Top of the 10th inning, 3-3. What a start to the Subway Series. And the 2-2. Foul back to the screen. Still 2-2. Piazza so far in October is 11 for 35 with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. Fly to right, single to center, fly to center, and fly to center. That was tonight. Well, he was also caught stealing, a pickoff by Pettit. The 2-2. Strike 3, inside corner. Piazza down looking. He doesn't like the call, and he tells Ed Montague as much and walks slowly back to the dugout.
Well, Rivera threw a fastball. He went in and out on Piazza, in and out, and he finally threw a fastball that was on the inside corner. That was a strike. We just saw the replay of it.
I think Piazza thought it was too high, but that is the strike zone. It was just under the belt. Now, most umpires don't call that, but Montague did.
Todd Zeile has had good numbers. Remember, he played for Texas and Baltimore. He's 3 for 8 off Rivera.
And he's 2 for 4 tonight. And the pitch is a strike. Fastball right over the middle of the plate, 0-1. Rivera in his 2nd inning of work. It's 3-3. The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. In the old days, John, all Subway rides were this nerve-wracking. Not anymore.
No. This is an unbelievable story.
I guess you can believe the hype. Yankees guarding the line at first and third. The 1-1 is popped up. First base foul territory. Behind the plate is Posada, drifting near the seats, leans in, but it hits the roof of the Yankee dugout, out of play, and the count 1-2.
You know, I never mentioned it before, Mike. I'm sure you agree with me. One part of the game that's never talked about with Posada, he is death on pop-ups. He tracks them very well and hangs on under the most difficult circumstances.
Well, he started as a second baseman, John, so he still has those sensibilities. Soho almost standing on the line at third. Same thing with Chino at first. The 1-2. Popped up foul again, first base side, out of play. Still 1-2 as Zeile stays alive.
Ventura on deck, and if, in fact, Rivera gets out of the 10th inning with the game tied at 3, you'll see lefty Dennis Cook. The Yankees have Justice, Bernie Williams, and Tino, 2 lefty hitters coming up in the 10th inning.
And the 1-2. Just missed outside with a cutter. And the count levels at 2-2 as a check swing by Zeile. Legitimate ball call there by Montague. The pitch was low and away. And the 2-2. Fouled away into the mezzanine, first base side. Still 2-2.
Zeile's very tough to fool. He's not as good a hitter, but he's very Paul Molitor-like. His bat is completely quiet. He has great hands. So he waits to the last minute. So therefore, with a very short stroke, he's not fooled too often. He's a good hitter.
And the 2-2. Swung on and drilled deep to left field, but foul into the upper deck. Just a long strike, and the scoreboard clock in left center field reads the witching hour. It is 12 o'clock here in New York City and up and down the East Coast. And the Yankees and the Mets are tied at 3 in the top of the 10th inning, putting on a show for baseball fans around the world. And the 2-2. Strike 3 right down the middle. Zeal down looking, and that pitch was at the belt too, and Zeal doesn't like the call, and he tells Ed Montague as much. So the Mets better adjust and know that the pitch at the belt is being called a strike. Here's Robin Ventura, and the pitch, a strike right down the middle, 0-1. Along with John Sterling, I'm Michael Kay. We really do thank you for joining us. You have some other options as well, and we thank you for sticking with us in the World Series. It's a thrill to be here in Game 1 of the World Series. And the 0-1. Up and away, 1-1. Robin Ventura is 0 for 4. Struck out and grounded back to the mound, popped to second, and fouled out to Posada. Left-handed batter.
Years in the American League with the White Sox, he's 4 for 12 of Mariano. No home runs, 2 RBIs.
Rivera gets the sign from Posada, sets below the belt, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and drilled deep to center field, giving chase Bernie Williams on the run. He's there, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 inning from Mariano Rivera and the Yankees. And at the end of 9.5, Yankees 3 and the Mets 3.
In the Yankees' 10th, the Mets sent out reliever Dennis Cook, who promptly walked both Justice and Williams. Clay Bellinger came on to run for Justice. Glendon Rush then replaced Cook to face Tino Martinez, with runners at first and second and nobody out.
But Clay Bellinger's gone in to run for David Justice. Here's Tino, who is 6 for 19 off Glendon Rush. Glendon used to pitch for Kansas City. I doubt they bunt. The winning run is Bellinger at second. Bernie Williams is at first. No one out. Bottom of the 10th, tied at 3. Michael.
Tino digs in. He's 1 for 4. Had an excellent postseason. And the pitch, strike. Inside part of the plate, fastball 0-1.
Now, before people, baseball purists say you have to bunt. If he bunts and is successful, the guy never bunts, but if he bunts and he's successful and you have second and third, 1 out, then they walk Posada, and then you go after the lefty O'Neill with a lefty. So they're having Tino swing away.
And the 0-1. In the dirt, gets away from Pratt, rolls up the third baseline. There goes Bellinger, slides in head first, and Bernie goes into second. A wild pitch, and now the Mets have to bring the infield in. Great base running by Bellinger.
Yes, he was ready to go, and when the ball bounced and went off Pratt and then rolled away, he was off, and Pratt had to run the ball down. Mike, now it's the Yankees game. You don't have to look at numbers and stats. You have to put the bat on the ball. The infield comes in. Lefty to lefty, they might go after Tino and then walk Posada and then try to get the double play. Now the infield is in, the outfield is in, and what Tino has to do is put the bat on the ball, and the Yankees will win the game.
And the 1-1 is popped up to short left field. Coming on is McEwing, and he makes the play. And the Yankees have to stay put. He made that play about 10 feet from the infield dirt. A good jump on the ball, and it was fisted out to left field by Tino, but the Yankees still have another 1-out opportunity with the infield in.
Now, I would walk, and they are going to Posada. So the outfield plays in because obviously a long fly wins the game, and that's how McEwing caught the pop-up. The infield is in, so they can't catch the pop-up. The pop-up was caught no more than 5 feet or so on the outfield grass. But Tino did the right thing. He swung at a pitch and wanted to hit a fly ball and just popped it up. So Posada is walked, and that means bases loaded, 1 out for O'Neill. And O'Neill puts the bat on the ball even against lefties. So even though you have Hill and Canseco, I think I would keep up O'Neill and hope that O'Neill hits a hot ground ball through the infield or a fly ball to left center. And against Rush, O'Neill obviously sees the ball. He is 4 for 15 with a home run.
Well, I don't think he'll pinch hit for him, John, because in Game 6 he told him, if I ever call you back, don't listen. Just go up. I will never pinch hit for you again.
Well, and don't you agree that he might put the bat on the ball better than Canseco or Hill? One thing I will say, Mike, O'Neill, I gave you all the numbers. Let me give you a negative number. He has 5 strikeouts against Rush. The Yankees cannot pass it up. O'Neill, or rather Tino, just couldn't get the bat head on the ball. He got hit him on the fist and he popped it up. Now O'Neill, with the infield playing halfway, they'll try to get the double play or come home, and the outfield, though, is all the way up. They got to cut off the line drive.
O'Neill worked a huge walk against Benitez with 1 out in the 9th inning. That started that 1-1 rally. We're in the 10th. The base is loaded. The winning run is at third. Clay Bellinger. And the pitch to O'Neill. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Fielded there by Alfonso. He flips to Abbott 1. Back to first, double play. And the Mets get out of a jam. And Glendon Rush pumps his left fist. Paul O'Neill slams his helmet to the ground. And the Mets have a life as we go to the 11th inning. No runs, no hits, and 2 men left at the end of 10 full. Mets 3, Yankees 3. Ebb and flow of this game. The Mets blow the lead in the 9th inning, and the Yankees blow a chance to win it in the 10th. Now, does the enthusiasm and the momentum and the confidence swing in favor of the visiting Mets? Well, the Yankees will bring in Mike Stanton, and Stanton can give you 2 innings. Bellinger takes over in left field for Justice, so that's important for the Yankees because they lose Justice's bat. And Bellinger is in for defense. He had come in to pinch run.
Now pitching for the
and
Yankees.
Now he will be batting
Number 29,
in the number 3 spot for the Yankees. Here's Stanton now. And as we said, Stanton faces McEwing, Payton, and Pratt. Yankees and the Mets are tied at 3. The first game of the Subway World Series. And here's John back with the play-by-play.
And as usual, Mike, a lot to talk about in this game. The media will have a field day after the game and into tomorrow before game 2. Joe McEwing, a right-hand hitter, is in, and he fly to right. No, Agbayani did. This is his first at bat. The pitch to McEwing is a breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1. Stanton, a lefty, faces nothing but right-hand hitters here in the 11th. And Mike, I don't know if the Yanks will win or lose, and I don't think anyone else does in this game, but they blew an opportunity that they'll never have again in a World Series game. When you have second and third, no one out, you have to put the bat on the ball and get the run in, and the Yankees couldn't do it. It'll be an 0-1 to McEwing. And the fastball hit in the air to center. Bernie Williams lopes in, makes the catch 1 away. First, Tino came up. He tried to boost the ball in the air. A fly ball wins the game, but he hit a pop-up in back of short. McEwing came on and made the catch. They walked Posada, so the infield could retreat and play halfway. The odd thing is O'Neill hit the ball up the middle, but he didn't hit it hard enough, and it was transformed into a 4.63 DP.
And it was very, very close at first, a return throw. I was surprised that Alfonso didn't take it himself when he put it in the air and flipped it to Abbott, and then Abbott returned to Zeal. It was very close to O'Neill beating it out.
The pitch to Payton is low. The count 1-0. Payton tonight is 1 for 4, but that one hit was in the big 3-run rally by the Mets, who scored all their runs in the 7th. Yankees scored 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 9th to tie. And let's face it, the Mets handed the Yankees the game on 2 walks and a wild pitch. There's a strike, a fastball in the inside corner. Stanton can pitch a long time. He's very strong, and you know, Mike said he can give you 2 innings. If you had to, you could pitch him more than that. But one thing, when the lineup turns around again, if the game goes on, Stanton will have to get out some great right-hand hitters. The 1-1, caught on a miss as a change away, and the count 1-2.
And the Yankee options from the right side, Grimsley, Gooden, and Cone. You've already used Nelson. And the numbers this year indicate that Stanton gets out righties better than he does lefties.
We're on the top of the 11th, tied at 3. 1 out, no one on. The 1-2, foul back, fastball. Stanton throws everything. He throws a fastball, a curveball, a slider, a splitter, and a change. Boy, you got to tip your cap to Glendon Rush. He got two big soft outs on left-hand hitters Tino Martinez and Paul O'Neill, both of whom had success against Rush in the past when he pitched with Kansas City. Here's the 1-2. It's hit on the ground to third. Soho fields and throws to first in time to get the speedy Payton 2 away.
What a way to break into the World Series for Glendon Rush. He will never forget that. And the way he was pumping his fist as he walked off the mound, Johnny had to feel like $10 million. I mean, what a feeling for him.
Indeed. Now here's Todd Pratt. And the one thing about Pratt, and after all, that was the big walk by Andy, walking Pratt in that 3-run 7th. Pratt can hit the ball out. He is a home run hitter. Remember the division series he won against Arizona with a home run to dead center last year at Shea. Now he faces the left-hander Stanton. And the pitch cut on him. Missed. He threw it by him in the count 0-1.
93-mile-an-hour fastball for Stanton. Stanton throws hard. Pratt's had a painful night. 2 hit by pitches and a walk.
And I think on another at bat he hit one right off his foot.
You're right.
Foul ball. It's been a doozy, and this is just the first of the World Series. We're in the 11th inning, tied at 3. That'll be an 0-1. Fastball crackles high and outside. The count 1-1. In the rally, quote unquote, the Yankees had, they didn't do anything for that rally, but Dennis Cook walked Justice, and then he walked Bernie, and he didn't come too close. And then he left, and a wild pitch moved the runners up. But Rush was more than equal to the occasion. It'll be a 1-1 to Pratt. Caught on a miss. He chased a high fastball on the count 1-2.
Great spot for a fastball up and in. Not many people can hit that, and Pratt couldn't hit it. You're seduced by it. You know you should lay off. It's hard to get through the high fastball, but it's right there. You can see it so well. You just can't get around on it.
Two outs, no one on. Top of the 11th. Stanton is a strike away from getting out of the top of the inning. The 1-2. He struck him out swinging. Fastball up. But the Yankee bullpen has been fabulous tonight. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 10 and a half. We're tied at 3.
Glendon Rush continued in the 11th for the Mets. He got Luis Sojo to ground out before giving up a single to Jose Vizcaino. Rush then battled Chuck Knobloch to a 2-2 count with 1 on and 1 out, tied at 3 in extra innings.
It's been Leiter, Franco, Benitez, Cook, and now Rush. And so Wendell and Turk and Rick White, 2 right-handers, the throw over, have not been used. They have no lefties left. But they got 2 very good right-handers, Wendell and Rick White. There'll be a 2-2 to Knobloch. Vizcaino, the winning run, leads off first with 1 out. The pitch, foul back. Got a piece of a fastball. Now, the reason why they can use Wendell right away is you have Jeter, a right-hand hitter. And then you have Clay Bellinger, a right-hand hitter, and the Yankees have really no one to bat for Bellinger.
Because you can't risk sending up Canseco or Hill and having them in the outfield.
It'll be a 2-2. Pitch is pop foul behind the plate. Pratt gives it a look. Coming back to the stands, and he makes the catch right near the Yankee dugout. And there's the second out of the inning. So now 2 away. And that'll bring up Jeter.
Well, Jeter had a chance to win it in the 9th inning. First and second 2 outs, but he struck out.
Derek Jeter.
Against Armando Benitez.
If I'm the Mets, I would absolutely not give Jeter anything good to swing at.
And then just deal with Bellinger?
Yeah. And then bring in Wendell to throw that slider to Bellinger. He'd have no chance.
But at this point, you also have to think about the game going long. You know, if you use Wendell for the 1, I guess you could go that way.
The outfield plays unbelievably deep to stop the extra base hit. Jeter swings and misses strike 1. The left fielder, Joe McEwing, plays very close to the warning track. Payton is in very deep center. That's normal procedure. What you want to do is cut off the extra base hit. And I'll tell you one place that Jeter has wide open, that's right center field. The pitch is outside, the count 1-1. Not that easy, but Jeter will hit the ball to right field. Now let's see if he can hit it to right center. Right center field, Vizcaino could score. Clay Bellinger is on deck. The 1-1 low, and the count 2-1. It's tough to say walk Jeter because that pushes the winning run to second. But you figure Wendell would have a great chance against Bellinger. That'll be a 2-1. And the pitch is swung on and driven deep but foul down the right field line out of play, in the count 2-2.
You think Clay Bellinger's heart is pounding right now on deck?
That's just the kind of guy who wins World Series games. We had the Scooter on with us on the pregame, and we mentioned we ran down a whole bunch of guys who came out of obscurity in the World Series. It'll be a 2-2. Now Jeter steps out. It'll be right-hand hitter Abbott, left-hand hitter Perez, and then the class of the right-hand hitters, Alfonso and Piazza against lefty Mike Stanton in the 12th if the Yankees don't score here. And for the Yankees to score here, Jeter's going to have to get an extra base hit or hit one over the wall. Vizcaino is the runner at first. He's the winning run. It'll be a 2-2 to Derek. The pitch outside, 3-2.
Well, the chances of him hitting one over the head of anybody without going over the wall, I would say, are nil. And their backs are almost pressed against the wall.
It'll be a 3-2. This goes by Vizcaino a running start.
And that means he could score on a single. That's how deep they are.
The 3-2 low. It's a wild pitch, and it rolls back toward the dugout. Vizcaino goes to third. Jeter heads towards second, and they won't risk the throw there. So Jeter walks and goes to second on a wild pitch. Vizcaino went to third, and now you have to pitch to Bellinger. And now we'll see if Bobby Valentine goes to the right-handed Chuck Wendell. The reason Jeter went to second, first of all, Pratt couldn't find the ball for a while, but he was daring him to throw, and you make a bad throw, then Vizcaino scores from third, and now here comes the pitching coach, Dave Wallace, out.
And he usually makes the pitching maneuvers. He makes the changes for Bobby Valentine. He walks slowly out to the mound, and that's it. He signals for Wendell, Chuck Wendell, to face Clay Bellinger. Clay Bellinger has a chance to be a hero, and we'll come back with Wendell against Bellinger. This is New York.
As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them, epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, just fast, effective treatment when it matters most. Because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is to be ready. Know the risk, know the options.
Well, he didn't do much as a pinch hitter in the ALCS. And Glenn Allen Hill will pinch hit for Bellinger. Bellinger was batting in the number 3 slot in the Yankee lineup because he pinch ran for Justice in the 10th inning. So the Yankees pay for that move right now.
Well, Glenn Allen Hill better be ready to hit the slider, because that's what Chuck Wendell throws. He might throw other pitches to left-hand hitters, but to right-hand hitters, he throws slider, nasty pitches. Look like fastballs and veer down and away. Second and third, 2 out. The pitch to Hill is a fastball. The count 1-0. So Wendell tried to get ahead and missed. Now, it's not good enough to say, well, he's got first base open, because Bernie Williams is on deck.
Hill 1 for 14 in this postseason with 2 ribbies. That one hit, a big hit against the A's.
It'll be a 1-0 to Glenn Allen. The pitch is foul back and count 1-1. So Hill hits for Bellinger, but Mike told you we didn't think that Bellinger would be hit for because now Hill has to play the outfield.
Amazing. Just amazing. A real roll of the dice right here.
Trying to win it. Vizcaino, the winning run. He's at third. Jeter at second. With 2 out, tied at 3, bottom of the 11th. The 1-1 is fouled off the end of the bat. The count is 1-2. He'll hit a little roller, kind of first base side of home plate. So Hill goes to left field. And if you're wondering, that's the only move the Yankees could make.
That's right, because Brosius is out of the game.
Now they have Canseco and Turner left on the bench. And he'll ask for time.
I think the Yankees would really settle right now for a wild pitch.
Settle? They would celebrate it. They would honor it. It'll be a 1-2 to Hill. Vizcaino singled, and with 2 outs, Jeter walked. And on the last pitch, it'll be a 1-2. Swung on, hit high in the air to shallow right center. Out goes Alfonso. In comes Perez. Perez makes the catch, and we go to the 12th inning. So Hill pops out. And for the Yankees, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 left. And now at the end of 11 innings of play, we're tied at 3.
Mike Stanton remained on the hill as Glenn Allen Hill went out to left for the Yanks in the 12th. Stanton got Kurt Abbott on a flyout. The Yankee reliever had now retired all 4 hitters he faced as rookie Timo Perez prepared to hit.
Here's Timo Perez, who is 1 for 5. From the stretch, Stanton deals. A breaking ball strike as Perez was running up to chop the ball. The count 0-1. Soho is in on the grass at third. Tino Martinez about even with the bag at first. I'd say about 4 feet off the line.
He also was ducking out of the way. I think he'd have to get a couple more breaking balls.
Speedy lefty batter. And the 0-1. Breaking ball ducking again, and a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. So Timo Perez doesn't seem like he likes the deuce.
I would say you could waste the fastball somewhere, and then you have to throw more curves. And that wasn't a very good curveball because that was up and on the inside part. But Timo was ducking out of the way.
And the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled back. Trying to sneak the fastball by him. But Perez just got a piece, so the count's still 0-2. Perez played in Japan for a while. That's where the Mets scouted him. He's out of the Dominican Republic. And he started the season in A-ball for the Mets. And when they called up Jason Tyner from Norfolk, AAA, the Mets then moved Perez up to Norfolk. And here he is. The 0-2. Swung on a miss. He struck him out. Fastball low and away. Great pitch by Stanton. So he didn't want to waste any against Perez. So 2 down. And now Perez, the leadoff batter, is 1 for 6. And that'll bring up Edgardo Alfonso. Alfonso 1 for 5. His only base hit, a slow roller to third that drove in what was then the go-ahead run and give the Mets a 3-2 lead in the 7th.
Stanton has electric stuff tonight. Now let's see if he can get a terrific right-hand hitter like Alfonso. You really want to get Alfonso out because Piazza is up next. And then the Yankees against Wendell. And again, the Mets have no lefties left. The Yankees will have 4 straight lefty hitters.
Top of the 12th, Yankees and the Mets are tied at 3.
To go after Wendell.
And the pitch to Alfonso is outside. A breaking ball. The count 1-0. Stanton walks off the front of the mound, licks his fingers on his left hand. Now back in front of the rubber. Alfonso steps out, takes a practice swing. He's a dangerous right-handed hitter with good power. 25 home runs in the regular season. 1 home run in the postseason. The 1-0. Swung on a miss, blew a fastball by him upstairs. The count 1-1. Because of the the Indian summer type weather, the umpires are not allowing the pitchers to blow on their hand on the mound or go to the mouth. So that's why Stanton is walking off the front of the pitcher's mound to go to his mouth.
That fastball was registered at 90.
Soho almost standing on the third baseline. The 1-1 is a breaking ball inside, or cut fastball. Check that in the count, 2-1. There is no way, and you never see the Yankees play to this extreme on the corners. There's no way you could double a ground ball inside third or inside first. That's how close Soho and Martinez are respectively to their lines. The outfield dead straight away. Alfonso goes foul line to foul line, a right-handed batter. And the 2-1. Swung on a miss. That's a changeup on the outside corner. A good pitch by Stanton. And the count 2-2. Stanton has a lot of pitches to throw. And the crowd gets up. Mike Piazza is on deck. A classic first game of the World Series. Top of the 12th, 3-3. 2 outs, nobody on. Stanton from the stretch, sets at the letters, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, he struck him out. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Stanton has retired all 6 Mets he's faced, 3 strikeouts. At the end of 11 and a half, Yankees 3, Mets 3. This place is jammed with celebrities. This is the place to be, and they are watching a World Series classic. Bottom of the 12th inning, Yankees and the Mets are tied at 3, and it's the heart of the Yankee order. 4, 5, and 6. Williams, Martinez, and Posada. 3 left-handed batters against Turk Wendell.
And O'Neill, so they have 4 straight good lefty hitters.
Wendell will work from the full windup. And the pitch to Williams is a fastball high, 1-0. Williams is 0 for 3 with an intentional walk and then a non-intentional walk.
And Wendell has problems with lefty hitters because basically what he does is get right-hand hitters out with sliders. Got good stuff.
And the 1-0. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-1, a breaking ball. Like a slider, a backdoor slider.
That's what he throws. No one but Hill, a National Leaguer, has at-bats against Wendell. Everyone else has 1 or 2 at-bats.
John, this is the longest game in World Series history. It's 4 hours and 44 minutes old. And the 1-1. Swung on and fouled away upper deck third base side, and the count 1-2. Has there been a longer than 12-inning game?
I was going to ask you that. I don't want to throw you a curve. And, you know, I don't know. The Yankees and Dodgers once played a long, long game. I don't know if it went more than 12 innings. You know, maybe we'll lean over and ask Fox.
Wendell works over the gum, makes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and hit on 1 hop to Alfonso. He fields and flips to Zeal at first as Wendell actually cut in front of Bernie Williams to back up the throw at first base. So 1 down here in the 12th inning, and that brings up Tino Martinez. Now Martinez had a chance to win it for the Yankees in the 10th inning. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, infield in, and just did not get it done. He popped up to short left field as the runner at 3rd had a hold. Tino is 1 for 5 tonight. His first at bat in the 2nd inning, he singled to right center. And Wendell deals. Outside, 1-0. He has a home run this postseason, hitting .347 with 5 runs batted in. The 1-0. Swung on and popped up left side, foul territory. Pratt giving it a look near the Met dugout, but it lands on the roof of the Met dugout, third base side. Count levels at 1-1.
Our executive producer Pete Silverman finds that
longest game looks like 14 innings. Boston Red Sox against the Brooklyn Dodgers, and that was back in 1916, and that was in Boston at Fenway Park.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth pitched in that series. Pitched, remind you.
Pitched well. Here's the 1-1 to Tino. Low and away, fastball, and the count 2-1. Nobody up in either bullpen, and there's a good chance, John, if there's a 13th inning, It will be Mike Stanton. The clock in left field is hit 1 o'clock. Here's the 2-1. Swung on line drive. Base hit to right center field for Martinez. Cutting over is Timo Perez. He fields in the gap and flips it into Alfonso. So Tino Martinez picks up his second base hit of the night. Yankees have a runner on with 1 out for Posada.
Mike, I wouldn't take out Stanton the way he's pitching. You know Stan's strong as a bull. Obviously, he hasn't pitched since forever. He has great stuff. It's a very cool night. It's a lovely night. So stamina is not a problem. And the one batter that you are worried about, obviously, is Piazza. I guess Zeal as well. Then you have a left-handed of Ventura.
Posada is 0 for 4. He was intentionally walked. He's been on base twice. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Intentionally walked in the 10th. The pitch to Posada. Swung on a hit sharply off the glove of Alfonso into right center field. Let's see if it splits the outfielders. Going to third is Tino Martinez. Peyton Fields fires in. And standing on second with a double is Posada. And the Yankees are set up again. Second and third. 1 out. And O'Neill coming to the plate.
Well, he'll be walked, and they'll face Soho with the bases loaded, but they'll have to bring the outfield all the way up, and they'll play the infield halfway. Mike, the reason why that was able to get in the gap and the others couldn't is because that ball was really stung, and that ate up Alfonso. He tried to make the play, but that ball was hit too hard. Oh, as that ball hit. And if there was anyone else but Tino running, he would have had a chance to score. That ball was hit so hard it rolled all the way back in deep right center. So now they'll walk O'Neill, and the Yankees again will have the bases loaded with less than 2 outs.
And now it comes down to Luis Soho for the Yankees. There's ball 2.
So a double by Posada sends Tino to third. 2 very hard hit balls, second and third, and 1 man out. And now the walk is completed. Bases loaded, 1 out. And here is Soho. And Mike, you know, the Yankees, if they're going to play the infield midway, the Yankees ought to think very much about a safety or even suicide squeeze. The only thing is Tino doesn't run well.
That's the big thing. He is not very fast.
Well, let's see if Soho has any history with Wendell. No, not on my list anyway. Well, once again, Mike, the Yankees have an opportunity. A fly ball wins the game.
Infield in, halfway, outfield is in. Bases loaded, the pitch. There's a strike right over the middle of the plate, a breaking ball, 0-1. Soho, in his only appearance at the plate, grounded to second. Tino Martinez is at third, Posada at second, O'Neill is at first. So terrible speed on the bases for the Yankees, but the only one that counts is Tino. Game is tied at 3, bottom of the 12th. They're in at the corners, and they're halfway at second and short.
They get a ground ball that can come home. Tino is slow, so they're really playing it exactly the right way. And if they get a ground ball with any speed to it, they can go for the double play.
Working from the stretch is Chirk Wendell. Gets the sign, sets below the belt, and the 0-1 is popped up behind the plate. Pratt is there, tosses away the mask. He makes the play for the second out of the inning, so Soho doesn't get it done, and that leaves it up to Vizcaino.
Now, Vizcaino should have numbers against Wendell because he played in the National League all of his life. And Jose is 0 for 4. So that's not a lot of numbers for 2 guys who've been in the league together for the last few years. Well, now the Mets can bring the outfield back to normal depth, the infield back to normal depth. And what Vizcaino has to do is either reach on an error, get a base hit, or draw a walk, or get hit by a pitch.
Well, he's got 3 hits tonight and a surprise start. 3 for 5, 3 singles. Wendell sets and the pitch. Swung on line drive, base hit to left field. Here comes Tino. He scores, and the Yankees win the game. A big base hit for Jose Vizcaino. Oh, what a game here on a Saturday night and Sunday morning in New York City. What a ball game.
The game set a record for World Series play, taking 9 minutes short of 5 hours to complete, finishing after 1 in the morning. I'll be back with a final note right after this message.